morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, April the 7th, and it's time for the morning situation brief. First of all, no changes to the National Terrorism Advisory System overnight. Snapshot of the region this morning, remain quiet. Updated numbers from Monday on the unaccompanied children effort are on the screen. No declaration updates to talk about this morning, no damage assessments, and no fire management grant requests. As we switch over to the Geo platform this morning, got some colors on the map. Trevor's going to talk about those in just a moment. In the meantime, no changes to the status of our state EOCs. All are at level 4, as is the RRCC here. The watch did go to enhanced watch this morning as of 7 a.m. and will be on duty until approximately 8 o'clock this evening. No changes to the status of our IMETs. No changes to the status of the little earthquakes north of Oklahoma City or in Irving. No damage or injuries with those. And the briefing that we did yesterday on the ship that was in the Mississippi River, that continues to be wrapped up, and no changes to the status of that. Now over to Trevor.
Well, good morning, everybody. Just wanted to start off with what you're seeing here on the screen. Those are red flag warnings, and in the slightly different colored orange in New Mexico, those are high wind warnings. So similar to the last few days, we'll be looking at critical fire weather to elevated fire weather conditions for most of New Mexico and the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, far west Texas. Really just the story there is wind and low humidities, but we'll be focusing today really on the severe weather potential for mostly northern and northeastern Oklahoma, and also to a lesser extent northwest Arkansas and northern Texas and the Red River Valley. We're looking at the potential for some convection and storms to start developing right around the 4 to 5 o'clock time frame. Just took a look at the most recent high resolution models, and it looks like the storms start to develop on those models right around the 4 o'clock time frame, which makes a lot of sense considering the peak heating of the day, the amount of instability that we're seeing. So it looks like right around the time frame of late afternoon into the very early evening is where we're looking at the time frame for those storms to develop. The risks for those storms are looking like they're going to be mostly very large hail, and even some strong tornadoes might be possible in that enhanced risk area that you'll see on the next slide here in a second. But I'll go in. As you can see there, the area of concern for today is really northern Oklahoma and northeastern Oklahoma, but the slight risk also extends as far south as the northern parts of Texas. So in these areas we're concerned with very large hail, especially the farther south you go, more into Texas and into the marginal threat. But then the tornado threat is more isolated to central and northern Oklahoma. The potential for these tornadoes is much like what you would see this time of year, where you'll have supercell development. Looks like that's the most likely mode that'll be up there in the Oklahoma time frame, and all the severe weather threats associated with supercells, like damaging winds, very large hail, and tornadoes, will look like that's a possibility for this afternoon. As the sun goes down, also will the instability and the threat for some of those things for Oklahoma, but it will begin to start shifting more towards the east, and maybe hopefully become a little bit more conglomerated and a little less of the severe contention when we start getting into the later hours of the day. But that will be the story for today. So we'll keep a close eye on that and that development. For the next few days, though, the fire weather conditions will be shifting more into the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles rather than giving New Mexico a little bit of relief. But for severe weather potential, it's the forecast for today, or for tomorrow, for Thursday, is not unlike what we've been talking about in the last couple days now, with a slight risk of severe storms for most of Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, and northeastern Texas, and northern Louisiana as well. That threat continues to be the same, where all modes of severe weather look possible. Tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds all will be a possibility. But again, the highest risk of severe weather remains to be north of the region in the Missouri and Illinois area, where the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service altogether is really looking at the potential for more widespread type of severe weather. But the additional threat that we will have in our region is the isolated flood threat. The good news is that the forecast for the total amount of rainfall for Thursday has gone down a little bit, but that doesn't exclude the area from still being in a flash flooding potential threat for Thursday. And the new development for Thursday and into Friday is going to be the slight risk of severe thunderstorms in the Gulf Coast, as well as the Rio Grande Valley extending all the way into southern Louisiana. So that's what we're looking for the next few days here in our area. And as far as the drought is concerned, as you can see, which is probably pretty frustrating, is that we have a lot of active weather and quite a bit of rainfall that will be in our forecast, but just not in the areas of highest concern for drought. There may possibly be some relief in the Texas portions of these drought areas in the central Texas area if they do get some pretty good coverage, but it probably won't be substantial relief as the more heavy rains and the healthier about 5 inches that we're expecting over the next 7 days will be confined to the eastern parts of Texas. So I know that's probably pretty frustrating to hear, but that's the way it is, unfortunately. And with space weather, not a lot to report, just a general uptick in the space weather realm. They did mention that a coronal mass ejection will be entering the atmosphere here on Thursday and Friday, which brings the numbers up. Just as you can see, KP goes to 3 from quiet to unsettled. That's generally all that they're expecting. No real impacts associated with that. And that's what we've got here for you today. So if you have any questions about today's severe weather or severe weather over the next couple days, feel free to let me know.
Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate that. If you got a question for the Weather Service, go ahead and type in the chat window. If you're on the phone, ask your question. In the meantime, there's the meetings going on around the region today and for the rest of the week. And trivia question for today. Which one of these? Any takers? Any takers? I have a couple of answers. Yeah. All right. And the answer is C. And that's a pretty good lightning strike right there. Any questions this morning? All right, seeing no one else typing in the chat window, there's nothing on the phone. Everyone have a great Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.